episode 7 of the Arctic Knitting Podcast. My name is Emilie, and you can find me on Ravelry on Instagram as Emilie Bjørnå, and you can find the group for this podcast by searching for the Arctic Knitting Podcast in the group tabs on Ravelry, and I'm going to link all of those in the show notes bar thing on YouTube. Yeah, and I'm coming to you from north of Norway, hence the name Arctic Knitting. Yeah. I was thinking that I should say thanks to every new viewer and to all returning viewers, because now I have 7 episodes, so I can say that. Mina of the Knitting Expat podcast mentioned me this week, so I have been getting quite a few new subscribers on YouTube, which is really exciting. And I was thinking that I should do a giveaway when I reach 200 subscribers. But now it's more than 350 and I don't have a prize yet. So I will definitely announce a giveaway next week. I'm not sure what I should put as a prize. I'm just checking on my baby. He's the one that makes noise. I'm not sure what I should do as a prize for the giveaway. Because I don't have any local indie dyers, and I just only know about one Norwegian indie dyer. And she's on maternity leave, so I don't think she dies at the moment. So if you have anything that you would like to get from the north of Norway, let me know and I will try to include that in a giveaway package. Also, I will do a giveaway on Instagram this week because I have reached 500 followers over there. As with the other podcast giveaway, I am not sure what I will put as a prize, because I think it's kind of a little bit boring to just put in Norwegian commercial yarns. But that's kind of all that I can get locally, and I want it to be something local. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm thinking about maybe sewing up a project bag or two, if I can find the time. As you can see, if you have seen this podcast before, I'm now in my sewing group and I have quite a bit of fabric. All of these are fabric that can be used for project bags, and all of this is hard. These are for clothes, and there are 8 more cubes down in the bottom with more fabric. So maybe I'll sew up some fabric bags. I have my desk over here where I normally do the sewing, but lately it has mainly been for schoolwork. So yeah, but maybe. I'm not making any promises, but maybe I will make something for the giveaway. I was also thinking, because we're talking about prices, that I have really been wanting to do a knit along in the group. I haven't been sure what it should be, but then I realized that of course it has to be stranded knitting, because I do a lot of stranded knitting and I do a lot of Norwegian projects with Norwegian patterns. So let me know if that would be something you would be interested in. I haven't figured out the details yet, but I think I will start it in the beginning of March, and then I will run it either just through March or through March and April. Just let me know what you guys think, because it's kind of hard for me to just make a decision. And I am thinking that everything should be allowed. Sweaters, cardigan, socks, hats, coats, anything, as long as it involves stranded knitting at some level. And I don't think I want to have these really strict rules, because it seems, from what I see in other knit-alongs, it seems like most knitters are honest people that don't want to claim something they're not entitled to. So yeah, I'm definitely doing a stranded along. If you have any input about that, let me know. And as a prize for that, I haven't picked it up, I haven't even picked it out, but I will find a Norwegian pattern for stranded knitting, and I will find some Norwegian yarn that goes to it, and yeah, that is the main price, and of course there will be some extras, maybe yeah, I don't know. But I was thinking that it should be a authentic Norwegian thing, like Norwegian pattern, Norwegian yarn, maybe Norwegian fabric for a project bag. I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely a Norwegian stranded theme price. Yeah. So I think I might have to pause and help the baby, because he is eating up my iron right now, and that is probably not a good thing. So I'm back. I'm having some troubles today because the baby doesn't want to be quiet and he doesn't want to be happy. So I have been trying to record this for like 5 hours, and then I had a break, and now I'm just going with it. So if he makes noise, he'll just have to make noise. I got quite a few responses after the last episode that it doesn't matter, because that's just life, and he's cute, and he sounds cute, and he makes people smile apparently. So yeah, so I'm just going with it. So up to what I am wearing. I am wearing the Bloomsbury cardigan by Svetlana Volkova. I wrote that down because I was sure that I wasn't going to remember it. I made this 2 years ago maybe, and it is made from Sandnes Smart, which is a Norwegian commercial yarn. And I love this cardigan, and I love this pullover. And I wore it all the time in the beginning, but then it sagged, and now it feels too big. But I think I'm going to make one more in another yarn. I'm not completely sure which yarn, but I'm thinking it should be white or grey or something more neutral than this really orange thing that I'm wearing right now. I don't remember exactly because it was so long ago, but I remember that I loved the pattern and that this part, because I was kind of not nervous, but yeah, excited to see if I would understand this kind of raglan increase, because it's top down. And it was no problem because the pattern is really well written, and there is also a baby, toddler, child, I'm not sure, version of this pattern, and I love it, and I will definitely make more of it. Mainly for me, I think. I don't think I have any children to make it for, because I have a boy and I don't think this is a very boyish pattern. But yeah, so I'm making one more of those. Also, I am wearing a skirt, which you can't see, but I have made it myself. I've shown you in the last couple of episodes. It's the zigzag shirt, which is a Norwegian pattern from a book called Klump Lumpe, which is a fairly new Norwegian book, quite popular in Norway. It's not available in English, at least I don't believe it is. But yeah, it's just a fast knit, and it's quite simple. And I made this shirt in Drops Charisma. And I'm going to insert a short video clip, I think it's 15 seconds, of my whole outfit right here. So that's it for my wardrobe today, handmade wardrobe. So I'm just going to move over to works in progress. I don't have any FOs to show you this week, so works in progress it is. I am going to start with these socks. I showed you this one the last time. These are for my boyfriend. And this is the other one. There you go. I don't have my sock blockers here, or I do have them in the room, but I don't have them here, so I'm just going to. So these are made from some yarn that I don't remember what it's called. There's Stoffladen something. I bought this yarn. This is the cake. I bought this yarn in Karlsruhe, I think it's in the south. Yes, in the south. I'm going to just go with it. In Germany. Last Christmas. so 2014 that is, because me and my boyfriend went down there to celebrate Christmas with a friend, and I went to a knitting retreat and I bought yarn from this local indie dyer, and I really love how this is knitting up. And I even think, because I think it was 150 grams skein, it seems like it would have been, because these are socks for my boyfriend, and I think I will have enough yarn to make a pair of socks for me as well. So I'm really looking forward to see how this will knit up with fewer stitches, because if you have seen this podcast from the beginning, in my second episode I was showing off another German indie dyed yarn, and I made a pair of socks that was a lighting. The color changes in the yarn made the color changes in the yarn made a pattern in the socks that seems a little bit like lightning or the Northern Lights. And then I knit a pair of smaller socks from the leftovers, and they look totally different, because in the smaller socks the yarn was striping instead of pulling like in the, I know it has a name, I just don't remember it. But I'm really looking forward to see how it knits up with another stitch count. I'm working these socks on 2.75mm needles on my carbons. Yeah, you have all seen those before and tried them, I guess. But I really like knitting with carbons. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say about those. Yeah. So, I think that was it for those socks. And I have one more. I'm having this toy in my hand because I will give it to him when he gets tired of the IKEA box he's playing with now. But my other work in progress, one of my other work in progress, is this cardigan. I have showed you this before. This is my Norwegian knits for this period, and it is stranded. This is the Setesdal cardigan, or Setesdal kofte, and I'm going to make it with a round yoke. This is the main body, worked from the bottom up, and I had just finished this cross section, and now I'm ready to start working lies. It is going to be lies all the way to the yoke thingy, and the yoke is going to have another sort of crossed section and different patterns. You'll just have to wait and see. But I am working this in a yarn that is called Finull, which is a Norwegian yarn. I talked about it earlier in another episode. It is a quite rustic yarn, but when you wear it and wash it a couple of times, it kind of fats on the inside, so it feels quite soft. And it's a really warm yarn, so it is going to be a nice cardigan to wear in Norway, which is just now snowing. I just want it to be summer. But yeah, I am working this in purple and yellow. I have quite a lot of purple yarns, and I think most of my sweater quantity of yarns are purple, because I used to love purple. It used to be my favorite color. But then, 2 I'm not sure, years ago, we moved into an apartment. The apartment we lived in before we bought this house. It was a rented apartment, and the living room walls was light purplish, bluish, almost white, but it had a tint of purple in it. So we bought purple curtains, purple pillows, purple tablecloths, purple rugs. Everything was purple, and it looks really nice for the first year. But then you get kind of tired of the same color, and because we had bought rugs for the floor as well, it wasn't that easy because they are quite expensive, so we couldn't just change up the color that easy either. There went the IKEA box. One moment. Yeah. So that's my second work in progress. I see from the time that I'm going quite fast, probably because I have done this a couple of times now, and I just want to get through it. I don't want to say it that way, but I just want to do it because I have had problems doing it today because the baby has been noisy. He doesn't agree. Not my fault, he says. Of course, Pepsi. Also, I have casted on a new project. This is the Quadri hat by Michelle Wong. And I know about every other podcaster has knitted this. You can see the cables. I really love knitting cables. But everyone has knitted this. I first saw it at the Yarngasm podcast, which is hosted by Kristin. She is also the dyer behind Wool and One Yarns, and you probably all know her. But she had made it in grey, and she had a black folk fur pom-pom. And I thought it looked so amazing, so I'm just shamelessly copying her. It's not the same yarn though, because I am making this in Dale Freestyle. Dale Freestyle. Yeah, it's a Norwegian superwash wool, and it is 80 meters for 50 grams, so I think it's an Aran weight. I'm not sure, but it's a soft yarn, and I think it's going to look good with the cables. The cable seems to pop. No, he's under my chair. But yeah. And I'm thinking that after I finish this, because it seems to be working up quite fast. So after I finish the grey one, I might... He's just tossing his toys everywhere, and then he gets mad that he can't reach them. But yeah, after I'm finished making this, I will make one in... I'm just going to reach for the color. I will make one in a color that's more like this. This is not this yarn. This was just to show you the color. Because this is like really, really light blue, and it's a cold blue, so it looks icy. And I was thinking to make this... Yeah, I have problems with the lighting. But I was thinking to make the quadrat in this color with a white pom-pom, which I think would look absolutely amazing. The reason that I am filming in my craft room today, now I'm just rambling on about something else, is that the lighting was perfect here. Earlier today, when I first did this, about 3 hours ago, it was light cloudy. Lightly cloudy? Little bit of clouds outside on the sky, of course. And now it's just grey, and it's snowing, and I can't see across the fjord. Of course that doesn't tell you anything, because you haven't seen my view, but I have this small fjord, just that normally it's a mountain on the other side. And I'm guessing the mountain still is there, but I can't see it. But yeah, that's... So now the lighting is weird, and now my baby is starting to make angry sounds again. I think this is going to be a crazy episode. Hopefully not as bad as the last one though. But I can't wait until March when my boyfriend goes on paternity leave, and I will be able to just close my door and do this by myself. So my last work in progress, I have more work in progress that I'm not going to show you because I haven't actually been working on them. My last work in progress is this. Ta-da! My sock yarn blanket now has 31 squares on it. These 3 I've added this last week. And I have joined a call called A Wee Bit Blankie over at the A Wee Bit Nitty Ravelry group. Which is probably a lot of fun, but I have problems keeping up with it because I have problems keeping up with social media at the time. I keep up with my Instagram and my Ravelry group, or our Ravelry group, but I have problems to stay in touch and keep on chatting in the other groups. And it's not because I don't want to, it's just that I don't have enough time, because I am using quite a lot of time on my baby, and I am using quite a lot of time doing schoolwork, and I am using quite a lot of time knitting, and that means I'm out of time. So yeah, and I have a problem with this, which isn't a problem with the project itself. It's more like I had quite a bit of leftovers before I started this, and I knit in all of my leftovers from my own project that I have are these two top rows. And then I divided the rest of them into mini skeins, and I started swapping. And now I am out of minis. And I am not quite sure what I am going to do about that, because it sucks. Because I love swapping, but you have to have minis to swap. So I think I have minis from 2 skeins of yarns now. And I'm not sure how I am going to deal with that, because I was thinking that I could go out and buy yarn and wind into minis, but then it would be kind of boring to just send out commercial yarns, which is what I can get around here. So if you have any suggestions on how to solve that problem, let me know, because I really enjoy working on this project, and I would really like to continue working on this. So yeah, and also I think I will go over to Etsy and buy me some mini skeins, because there are so many beautiful things out there and I want to try them all. So yeah, that's it for the blanket. And that was actually all that I had to show you for works in progress. It's 4 projects, and I think I have a pair of socks and a shawl as well. Yeah, I do. I keep everything in this basket that is standing right to the sofa. I think maybe I have a flashback. Maybe I've shown you this before, but for the new ones, this is my knitting basket. I keep it right next to my sofa, and I stuff everything I need in there. And I also have a sewing box, which I'm definitely going to show you one time when I get around to it, because it's a beautiful sewing box that I got from my grandmother. And that also lives next to my sofa. And that is where I keep all my knitting notions. So I'm not going to cast on anything new, because I feel like I have to finish some projects to make room in my basket for new projects. So over to acquisitions. I don't have many this week. I have only done 1. These are some of the skeins. It's only 4 colors. It's only 4 colors. It is 4 colors. I'm showing 2 of the blue ones, because that is going to be the main color. No problem showing you. But it's marine blues, a white and a grey, and an olive color. Yeah, there it is. So this is going to be a cardigan for my mother. I have, I think, 15 skeins of this, and enough of the others. So the yarn is Alpaca Fine, which is a yarn from Viking, Norwegian commercial yarn that I use a lot. And it's 85% superfine alpaca and 15% Highland wool. And each skein is 50 grams or 166 meters, so I think that's heavy fingering weight. But anyway, this is going to be a kofte from my mother. And this is going to be the color of the main body and the arms. And then in the rounded yoke there will be all of these colors. Yeah, so I am going to wait with casting that on, because I want it to be part of the stranded caul that I am going to do. And also I want to finish my own kofte first, of course. So that is it for acquisitions. I haven't been shopping much. Even though I went to another city, I didn't buy anything. But I wanted to ask you a question, a yarn related question, because I showed you this yarn last week. This is the Western Sky knits got in a swap I did. The colorway is Dark Night, and this is the Magnolia Luxe Socks, which is 75% superwash merino, 15% cashmere, and 10% silk. Yeah, I can't get it to focus correctly, but it's 400 yards for 100 grams, so that's a normal fingering weight. And this is the yarn. No, I have made a mess of this. There. So this is the yarn. I have problems to fit it in the screen. But I have no idea what to make of this. Because this is the kind of yarn that I will just have... that I would just keep in my stash, because I have to find the perfect project for it. And I don't want to waste this yarn on something that won't work for it. But at the same time, I really want to knit with this because it feels gorgeous. So if you have any pattern suggestions for this, please let me know, because I really want to use it, but I don't know what to make. So I think that I'm going to leave that as the question of the week. It has been quite a few questions this week. So to summarize everything, what should I use this yarn for? What prices would you like to see in giveaways and giveaways and calls? And do you have any input on doing a stranded call? Is that something you would be interested in? So let me know. Head on over to the Ravelry group and let me know. So for Arctic Living, I am going to insert some clips here at the end. I haven't been doing much as usual, but I have been filming a little bit. It's winter here, of course. It's not that bad. Actually, it's not that much snow this year. But I have been filming a little bit right outside my door, and I have been doing some filming in a car. Me and my brother went to the shopping mall earlier this week, and I filmed the way home, and he was driving just to have that one. So I was able to do a little movie. So I'm going to insert those here at the end, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope this podcast hasn't been too messy, and that I will actually upload it, and that this isn't too chaotic. But I wanted to say thanks for watching, and thanks for keeping up with the noise. So hope to see you again next week. Bye.